So for this section, I'm going to show the technique called lifting off. One of the most frustrating things for artists about watercolor paints, especially coming from acrylic, is that they're really hard, the color is really hard to get rid of once you have the color on the paper. Like, I can't just paint white over this watercolor and start fresh like you can with acrylic. I don't have an eraser like I do with pencil. It's kind of stuck there. But there is one technique called lifting off that sometimes artists will use intentionally, or sometimes it's something that you can use in case you made some kind of mistake. So I'm going to show you how to use it in an intentional way, but just know that this is a technique you can use to lift off some paint. It won't work quite as well as just an eraser might, but it's better than nothing. So lifting off can work well for when you're trying to paint some kind of cloud-like texture, or if you're trying to get a soft white-like texture, which often seems like clouds. So I'm going to start with just a wash of blue to kind of look like a sky. Maybe I'll add in some red just for fun. And this will work best if you are doing it when the paint is still wet. So for this you'll need a Kleenex or a paper towel. And I'm going to take this Kleenex and just press down hard, twist a little bit, and you can see that it's pulling up some of the paint. So it's not the white of the paper anymore, but let's say you painted it on and it was just way too dark. You can see that, okay, I could lift it up. So it is nice when you're using watercolor to always have a Kleenex or paper towel with you, just in case something spills or drips or something happens, you can lift it off somewhat. Something else you can do in case, let's say that the paint dried before you noticed it, or you wanted to change the value of something, I could get my paintbrush wet with clean water and go over the dry paint with the water and then try lifting it up. It's not going to work quite as well, but it's better than nothing. So that is an option that you have if you do mess up somehow with paint. But I think with watercolor, it's important to just try to let the paint do what it's going to do and realize it's going to be less precise, and you will have a little bit less control than you do with acrylic, and that's okay. You'll just have to let go of that control a little bit.